What's up, pottery friends? I have a good video for you today. It's actually a repair video instead of a throwing pottery video. I'm going to be repairing my pedal on my Shimpo VL Whisper. I had broke it by trying to adjust this bolt on the left side of the wheel, or of the pedal, when I should have adjusted the right side. What I was trying to do is just make this a little bit smoother because it was too tight when I first got the wheel. But I made the mistake of adjusting this and I broke something on the inside. It's a plastic white gear. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to open this up. I'm going to show you how to replace that, and it'll be nice and easy, nice and quick. So let's go to the overhead and we'll get started. All right, so we've got the pedal. Got a nut on the right side and a bolt on the left side. You do not want to adjust or touch this bolt on the left side because, and I'll show you later, there are threads in here as well that are kind of holding this in place. So what we're going to do, but we're going to use a Phillips head. So we're just going to take this off. All right. I'm going to take off this cover. I'm going to zoom in here. So this is the gear that I broke. I don't know if you can see it really well, but some of these teeth look super janky. So anyways, I broke these teeth because, like I said, I was trying to adjust that bolt, and that's not what you do. So let's get into it. First thing you want to do, get a little Allen key. I don't know what size this is, but there's 2 bolts in the back. Let me actually take this off again so I can show you. So if we zoom in here, this whole plate that has this metal gear is the actual potentiometer. So every time you move the pedal, this is what's turning, and that's what actually turns the wheel, which is attached to this. So this is attached to the pedal. When you move, it turns, moves that, wheel spins. Behind these cables, we have 2. There's one right there, and the other bolt right back there with the yellow dots on them. And that is what holds this plate together. I've already loosened this before just to make it a little easier. Let's put you back on the tripod. So I'm gonna loosen the other one too. That gets that out of the way. I'm just gonna tighten it so it doesn't move down and get in the way. So right now these 2 gears are not touching. If you pull this back that way, oh, turn it away from you, turn it back from you. We want to have it all the way back down like that. That means it's off. The wheel's off, so it's not going to spin. But if it were, and this accidentally moved up, the wheel would start spinning. So be mindful of that. Turn your wheel off. Cool. So to take this off, I actually have the replacement right here so I can show you. This guy right here, there's a little tiny Allen key that uses 5/64. And this little Allen key you can see on the inside right there, that's what actually helps keep it gripped onto this bolt. So we need to loosen that in order to slide this out. But before we can do all that, let's actually take this nut off. This nut requires a 13 crescent wrench, or wrench, I don't know my tool names. On the other side, to hold the bolt, I'm using a 11/16 socket. So I'm gonna, this side is not doing anything. This is just holding the bolt so that I can take this nut off. We're going to take the nut off. And by the way, if your pedal feels a little tight, this would be the way to actually tighten or loosen it. You'd be adjusting the nut, not the bolt, unless you want to break your plastic gear like I did. All right. Nut off. Turn this around so the nut came off, washer comes off. Now, the confusing part, the reason I couldn't repair this for a little bit is one, I had bought the wrong gear. So quick update, I accidentally bought the Shimpo RK Whisper part, and it is actually the Shimpo VL, which I should have known, but I did not see that on the website. I just saw Whisper and I hit purchase, so be careful. Make sure you buy the appropriate gear, whether you have the RK Whisper or the VL Whisper. Alright, back to the video. I had bought one that's way too big. I bought these off of Kruger Pottery Supply. I'll post a screenshot of what I bought both times so that you know which one not to buy and which one to buy. But anyways, you want this smaller one. The website's not very descriptive. So anyways, now that you've got this nut and bolt off, the nut off, you want to get the bolt out. More than likely, this little screw will be visible to you. So what you want to do is actually loosen that. You're going to loosen that. That's what allows it to kind of move freely. And that'll also let you slide it off. But now we have to deal with this. So you can't just like push this out because it is threaded on this side as well. So there's threads at the end. That's where the nut goes. But underneath, there are more threads that the bolt is attached to. So get your ratchet, your 11/16 socket, and you're going to loosen it. So I've got it loose enough now that I could do it by hand. Okay, there we go. So now it's out. So I'm going to loosen it a little bit just to clear it. Of course, now on camera it's not. There we go. Okay, cool. So that comes out. And ta-da, there's your bolt. So you see there's threads here. This bolt will not come out until you loosen that as well. But not until after you've released the nut, loosened this, unscrewed this end, and then it'll slide out. Cool. So there's that little notch. And that's where this little screw kind of embeds itself. So we're going to grab the new one, slide that in. I think I'm on there, so... Oh, wait a minute. Silly me. That was for educational purposes. I know what I'm doing. Alright, so it's going in. Before I tighten that, I'm gonna snug this down. Alright, snug. Now I'm gonna tighten this bolt down, thread that in. Actually, I'm gonna back it off a little bit. Because I think that's going to interfere. I think that's what lets it. If I tighten it too much, then I won't actually be able to use the pedal, I don't think. We're going to grab our washer and our nut and put that back on. Okay, that's like tight. So that's super tight. Then using the pedal is like really hard. Actually, this is pretty good. I could make it more snug, and then I would have to use a little bit more force with my foot when I'm using the wheel. But we'll leave it like that for now. So the next thing we want to do is actually calibrate the pedal. So I'm going to turn the wheel on. Off. We want it on. Because I'm going to just adjust this guy right now. And it starts to move. So we want to back it off until it stops. Then we want to combine or interlock these two teeth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen these guys again so that I can lower this plate down, which will engage these teeth to each other. So I'm going to move this down. The teeth are engaged. Going to tighten. And I don't want to crank it down like crazy. I just enough so that it's snug. These teeth are engaged. We're going to, you see that? So basically now that those teeth are engaged, when I activate the pedal, it starts to move. And so you can adjust this. If you want a little bit of a delay, so that way when you hit the pedal, it doesn't immediately start, then you can go all the way down. Remember, I rolled this down enough so that it can just stop. But if I kept rolling, that means there would have been a delay when I engaged the pedal. And I don't really want a delay, I want it to be immediate. And I'm going to see how that feels. I'm going to engage. And that's pretty instant. I mean, there's like a couple millimeters right there, if you can see, like. And so I think that feels good. I don't know what that sound is though. I'll investigate later. But that is essentially it. I have repaired my wheel finally. But there you have it. That's how you fix your Shimpo VL Whisper pedal. I'm sure other Shimpo wheels look exactly the same. Other brands probably look exactly the same. If you found this video helpful, I'd really appreciate like a follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. And let me know, have you run into this issue? Was this helpful? If you have any questions, let me know. I might be able to help. I'm by no means like a mechanic or anything, but I do like to tinker every once in a while for something like this. This is super easy, super simple, literally just these 3 tools, and that's it. So yeah, thanks again, and I'll see you on the next one.